In addition to the women we know personally, we are inspired by the stories we hear of Catholic women who have come before us. And Dorothy Day really does come up over and over again in these essays. Kate Barr-Cheaton, I think she, just share a little bit from Kate's essay. Dorothy Day bore all the attributes of Josephine March, Anne of Green Gables, and other sweet but feisty childhood heroines. Dorothy sounded bold, determined, and unconventionally loving. But unlike Jo and Anne, she was real. It was 2002 when I was staying at the St. Francis Farm, a Catholic worker project in upstate New York. And that was when she first heard of Ms. Day's uncommon life. I'm sure that I romanticized the tale, imagining that Dorothy gave assiduous attention to each of the poor people she met and fed, and then retreated to a quiet study where she would smile to herself and write neat columns about her noble day's work before nestling into a cozy gingham bed for the night. Kate admits that biographies like Dorothy Day's are easy to manipulate, especially when you have a fertile imagination. But it did not take me long to realize that Dorothy Day's raw love for the poor and the marginalized must have ushered her into a rather raw life. Finally, the young women in this collection are honestly grappling with questions about sex and sexuality. Theologian Tom Rausch wrote a book called Being Catholic in a Culture of Choice. And he describes the attitudes of young Catholics that he sees on his, he teaches at a Jesuit campus in Southern California. And he writes that they have little patience with what they see as the official church's negative attitude towards sexuality. That is, issuing black and white condemnations rather than articulate positive values. And this sentiment definitely rings in several of these essays. For Kate Averitt, the church's teaching on sexuality causes her double pain of exclusion, living with the knowledge that even if she felt called to the priesthood, she wouldn't be able to be ordained, and also that the church would not bless her wedding to a woman. Rebecca Lynn Fullen also knows this intimately, frustrated that her desire for a man can be sacramental, but her desire for a woman only disordered. Again, Rausch observes that his students feel that homosexuals have the right to express their love physically and do not see recognizing gay marriages as undermining the institution of marriage. The refusal to support even domestic partnerships seems nothing more than prejudice. Like Rausch's, that's a quote from Rausch. Like Rausch's students, these women challenge the church to support a more fluid understanding of sexuality that embraces the love that can develop between partners of the same gender. Those are the 6 things that we've learned, which I'm happy to talk more about, but I want to get to Kate and Sarah here. So let me just say that not long after the book came out this summer, we have an ongoing blog, if you're interested, at fromthepews-in-the-back.com, and we received a comment from a woman who said, if this book had been around 15 years ago, I might have been less inclined to become a Unitarian. So one of the things we really learned about this book is that there's a real need and desire and sort of passion in young women to talk about being Catholic. Not necessarily to solve all the issues or to change all the institutions, but to talk about what it means to be Catholic. So I want to give us a space to do that. But first, let me just introduce Sarah and Kate. Sarah Gottfried works and lives in Minneapolis. She's a graduate of 2002. I think you were an English major, Sarah. She now works at Clare Housing, a home for HIV and AIDS patients in Minneapolis. And Kate Lucas, also English major from O2, English. And Kate works as a grant writer with Common Hope, which is an organization that supports communities in Guatemala. So I don't know who I'd like to share first. We didn't talk about this, but they're going to share just a little bit of their piece. You can sort of get a flavor for some of the women. And then I've also asked them to share just like a minute or two worth of things that have changed for them. I mean, they wrote these essays almost 3 years ago. So, and further reflections if they're so inclined. So, did you duke it out?